Hello guys, welcome back to my VMware Horizon 8 training sessions. So this is my 8th video. So in my previous session, you guys saw how to install RDSH server. Like as I said, we have two servers, and we have used the second server for our installation. So we have installed the required applications on the server as well as RDSH roles, and we have rebooted the server. So in this video what we are going to do is like we will be we will be registering the server. Once you install the VMware Horizon agent on the RDSH server, it will be we will be able to see the server in the registered machines in the portal. After that we will be creating application forms, and later we will be configuring the application pools and uh, adding the applications. So before that we will install VMware Horizon on this server. So this is pretty much straightforward. So we need to provide the connection server details while installing the Horizon agent. So our connection server is VG connection 01. So we will be using this server name while installing the Horizon. So installation is in progress, so we need to wait till we get the next screen. So before that we will just make sure that we are able to contact connection server from this server. So we are able to ping it, so it's a good news. So we will be copying the FQDN of the server, and just click next, accept the license, and we'll be using IPv4. Click next. Here a couple of components are there where we can customize our setup. So but whatever is required we need to do it, but I am just selected the like a 3D RDSH and click next. So here we need to provide the connection uh, server name or IP. So we already copied the server name, so I pasted it here, and we'll be using the admin credentials. So that is our domain admin, domain user. I have that HVU admin. The format as it mentioned, like domain name slash user. That is the format. So FLC slash HVU admin is the name, username, and the password we have provided, and click next. So we will be using the same default installation path, and click next. So installation process is started now, and it will take some time. So meanwhile, and we can see where the settings are there. So as I told, once the agent is installed, you'll be able to see the RDSH server here in the registered machines, where it will be listed here. So you can enable, disable the server if you want to, for example, any maintenance there or anything, so that users won't contact or users won't be logged into that server. So once the agent installation is completed, the server will be popped up there. So installation still in progress, so we'll wait, but it won't take much time, just a couple of minutes. So even you can see the status of the installation, what all is happening, what are uh, like see, you are able to see starting the services, web services, everything will be listed here. It's visible here. So installation is done. Click finish and go for a reboot. So we'll try to RDP the server. So still server is not up. So we'll wait for some more time. Uh, Server is up now, so we'll put the credentials and we'll log in. So once we log in, like we will open the VM Horizon Administrator console. There we go. So here, once we refresh, there we go. We are able to see that our RDS02 server is visible here, which is showing the agent version also. So now we need to create the form. Just click on add, and you have two options, that is manual and one is automated. So if you select manual, you need to provide all details here. So give the form name. So I will be giving the form name as a application form for now. So I will leave all defaults, but click next. This is for like a couple of configurations related to load balance, and I need to select the server, our RDSH server, and click submit. So here is a summary of the configuration. So now we are able to see that form is created, and you are able to see that RDS hosts list. We have only one server, so we are able to see one server. So now we will go to applications and we will create an application pool. So we have two options, that is add manually, one more is add from installed applications. So we will click the, like once we click the automatic pop-up, like you are able to see whatever the applications installed on that server, they will be listed here. So you need to select the applications which you want to publish, and just need to click next, and anything which is not listed, you can go to the filter, and if you type the application name, that will be listed there. So if you type a notepad plus plus or notepad, the notepad related is visible. So when you select and click next, it will be added. So first of all, we will add Firefox, Chrome, and calculator. mm, so what else? So we will click next, and we'll add the other applications manually. So click next. So you can rename the applications if you want, like the display name will be changed. So we can do that here and click submit. So here it will ask for entitlements, that is to whom you want to give the access to the applications. So you can create a group and add users, and if you type the user name or particular group name, that group will be listed here, and if you click on find, the group will be listed here. So I will be checking for domain users. So select the domain users and click OK. So select it here and click OK. So you are able to see that we have provisioned three applications, we have deployed three applications. So we will add rest of the applications now. Go to add, and uh, if you go for manual, we need to provide all details like a publisher, version, everything. That is little bit painful. So we'll go for like a automated one. Click OK. So what are the installed applications? So if you go and search in the filter, so you'll be like, for example, as shown notepad. So select that one, click next. You can customize the display name, that it's okay to keep it, so click submit. Again, to whom you want to give the access. So I'm selecting the domain users and submit. OK. So we'll try to add open office now. So it is not listed here. So when you search or filter here with see all open office related applications are listed here. So we'll select open office math, writer, and drawing, and click next. You can customize the names, but we'll go for it, submit. And here what we'll do is, like, we will try with uh, mm, a different group. So let's try with uh, we'll do one thing. We'll try with the domain admins instead of domain, so that you will come to know when a normal user login what all applications are there, and when a domain admin logins what are the application we can see. So we have configured the application pool and it's testing time. So I already installed the VMware Horizon client on my laptop. So, and already connection server is listed here. When you click on new server and put the IP or connection server name, obviously the icon which you are able to see is listed here. So this is related to certificate. Fixing the certificate we will see in our next videos. I will be login with my domain admin, one of the domain admin account. So there we are able to see all icons. So if you click the application, it should load, and the required application should be available. So let's wait. So here, so you are able to see that open office is open now. Just click next, finish for the initial setup, initial login. Once that is done, you are able to see the open office and you can able to work. So I'm opening multiple things. So open office word is writer is available now, and now other applications are getting opened. uh, so now see, you are able to see Google Chrome. So the advantage of this is, like, see, we are not installed open office on user laptop or user desktop. So it is directly deployed on our server, but the user is able to access using the VM Horizon client. So let's check for one normal user and see. Let me log into my domain controller, and we will pull one user with who is not a domain admin, just a normal user, and using that account we will log into to our VM Horizon environment and see what are applications available for him. So let's see. Just run dsa.msa to get the users and computers. Okay. So yeah, for my old lab I have created some users before for my Horizon, like long back. So even I don't remember the password, so I will reset the passwords and set it for new password. So here I have one group and two users. So I will use the user which I reset it, that is HUO1. Okay. Okay. So he is member of view users. So now I will log in with the same HU01 user. So put the password, click login. Oh, there you go. So we are able to see all icons. So as a system engineer, we should troubleshoot why he is still able to see the icons. So we'll go back to our Active Directory and see the view admin contains he is the member of which group. So he is a member of domain admins. That is the reason we are able to see the icons, all icons. So we will remove domain admins. Uh, so I'm like yeah, remove the H101 from domain admins, and now he is a normal user, domain user. So we will log off again and we'll try to log in again and see what happens. So he should not get the open office icons now, as he is no more a domain admin. Just log in. There we go. So we have only 4 icons available, which we have provisioned for domain users. So we are successfully given access to the two different groups. So I believe this video is informative for you guys. Thanks for watching, and let's meet in our next video. Thank you.